dating setups that you might encounter on the dating field in line with our own safe relationship training. And dating setups are situations where you may find yourself in a setup type situation, but you may not be aware of it until a long way down the line, because often we assume that when we're going into a situation that the other person is wanting a relationship with us or with someone in their life. And it's not always the case on the dating scene that that is going to be someone else's intention. So I wanted to give you some examples of some possible setups, which means that your intention on the dating scene may not be the same as someone else's. And this is quite an important point to remember when we are looking for a relationship, really, because quite a lot of time can be wasted, and our heart sometimes, when we are wasting our time in situations that are not going to benefit us long term. And an awful lot of time, sometimes years, can be wasted by some people who are not aware of what is going on as far as the other person is concerned, especially if they are very down low with their behaviour. So I wanted to highlight just a few situations that could occur, but these are not all of them by any means, when we're on the dating scene, and some of the things to sort of look out for, really, so that we can take care of ourselves. And the first one, which is quite a common one, is promising a relationship or having the attitude that they are intending to find a relationship of a serious nature, and then switching, sometimes quite early on, sometimes months down the line, or even years, and saying that they've changed their minds and they don't want to be in a relationship anymore, and they want to go off and do other things. And all that can look quite natural, because it could be actually the case that someone does change their mind and decide that they don't want to be in a relationship somewhere down the line. But for other people, it can be that they are spending time with someone whilst they're waiting for something better to come along. And when that something better comes along, we may find that we're shoved in the bin and quite disorientated and even devastated, because we believe that this was a bona fide relationship and it was a normal relationship and was progressing. But often you find in these particular situations that the relationship isn't progressing, it's coasting at a certain neutral level where it's not going forward and it's not going back. But the person is just biding their time sometimes so that they can keep their options open and keep themselves available should something better turn up than you or me. And so it's very useful to be very aware of what is happening right the way through, and the sort of vibes that we feel when we're in excuse me, those situations can be a pretty good indication that on some level we may know what is going on. But if we assume we know what is going on and act in a certain way, as far as the relationship is concerned, we can be deceived sometimes in believing that we're in a normal relationship, even though it's not progressing, and even though we're not talking about the types of things that a couple would talk about if the relationship was progressing normally. So that was my first tip, really. Pretending that they want a relationship and actually engaging in some of the behaviours, but not at the end of the day being very serious about a committed relationship. Another scenario which can happen, which is where someone uses someone to make someone else jealous. And it could happen that they have another liaison going on, or a type of flirtation going on. And sometimes we find ourselves in a situation where there's another person who is involved with a partner that we're going out with, and they are of the mind that they are involved with that person, and the partner in question could just be using us to make the other person jealous as a sort of lever, so that we will get our act together or become more clingy and give them more attention, or whatever their agenda is. So that's an interesting one. Not a comfortable situation to be in, but something to be aware of. To be aware of whether this other person has certain liaisons and relationships in their life which is a little bit more serious than we realise. So one indication of that could be if we find ourselves in a situation where the partner is trying to make us feel jealous by using this other person. Another setup, which I personally haven't come across, but I have heard that this can happen, is that we may be set up for a threesome, which is not very nice to think about. But I can't even imagine doing that or being in that situation. But I thought it would be a good thing to mention and just flag up that other people may not have the same values as we do on the dating scene. So it might be a good safe relationship tool to just ask them about these sorts of things, just to make sure that you're not presented with a situation somewhere down the line that is completely out of your value system. So that's a pretty good one to flag up there. And the last point that I wanted to flag up is that someone could be after things apart from sex that we're not aware of, because we may be of the mind that we want to seek a committed relationship and have a really good fulfilling dating experience. But some people are looking to see if there are other things that they want from us. So they're looking to see if we have things that appeal to them materially, such as where we live, what sort of house or whatever accommodation we have, how much money we have, and all these sorts of things, so that potentially we could be set up to be used or potentially damaged by someone wanting those other material values that we have so that we can be set up to be used for those things. So I wanted to flag up these things so that people could expand their consciousness in order to be safe and aware when we're dating that other people's intentions may not be in line with ours, and that it's a good idea to not wait years until we find out just what type of character this person has. So I hope that helps, and as always, stay safe and happy. Bye bye.